a theme we're noticing between both the Canadian men's and women's national teams. I think a lot of people started to notice it with Milan Borjan in World Cup qualifying. Canada is not the first country to do this. They won't be the last country to do this. But during that semifinal, there was a very notable moment where Kaylin Sheridan went down. The training staff came onto the pitch. Eva and I commented that the trainer comes over in his microphone and he's really selling the whole act of injury. And immediately Bev Friesman had her tactics board in hand, basically using this as a timeout. Bev has said, look, if we're going to be in CONCACAF, we're going to have to deal with CONCACAF. And my goodness, did they ever need to do that in the semifinal? They're going to start embracing the CONCACAF shenanigans. But Wheels, is this just clever gamesmanship within the rules, or does this try to be a little bit nuts?
This is unbelievable. Look at the size of that whiteboard. My leg. Hold on. Oh, you guys regroup. Get this show back. Oh, wait, I'm fine. This is a tactic. I'm going to call this the John Herdman, because this is when it really came to the forefront. Herdman telling Borjan or Crepeau or whoever's a goalkeeper to go down 20, 25 minutes in the game. That would be a signal to adjust tactics. They play in a different way, show the other team a different look, and they move forward. It's essentially like calling a timeout. Tommy Wheeldon Jr. has since done it with Cavalry in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. And now Bev Priestman is utilizing this to a whole new level. It's like a basketball timeout. Come over here. We're going to draw up a play. And it was strategic at that moment because Jordan Heidema had just come onto the field. They were changing their tactics, changing their system. So she used that as a glorified timeout. The problem for referees is that if a player goes down injured, that's an outfield player, they go off the field and then they can come back on at the referee's discretion. You can't do that with the goalkeeper. So it's smart by Herdman and Wheeldon and Priestman to go out and utilize this tactic. But doesn't it completely spit in the face of the spirit of the game? Like, the administrators, the people that make decisions about the way that football is going to be played, they want to see it more free-flowing, less stoppages. And this is like a basketball timeout. There has to be a solution here, a way for referees to ensure that this doesn't happen. In the meantime, coaches like Herdman or Priestman will continue to try to take care of it. They're not breaking the rule, but it does spit into the face of the spirit of the game. I don't know if it's like giving the head coach a caution if this is going down. Of course, it's very difficult to prove whether a player is hurt or not. So there's a real gray area there. As of neutral, as someone that would be completely neutral, I think it's kind of disgraceful. Like, this is not what football is all about. Jordan will tell you, generally when you're playing, you're getting instructions from your teammates, from your manager as the game is going on. Not come over here, we're going to bring out a board and draw up a play. It's like a box one, here you go, set a high pick, pop out to the three-point land. And what is this? This isn't football. It's unbelievable, and I cannot believe that they continue to get away with it.
Jordan, your thoughts?
Ooh, have so many. First off, this is my time to confess. 80th minute in a 2-1 game, if you're winning, right? You look at your other midfielder, you look at him like, oh, you've been running a little bit. Maybe that's the time to get a breather. You go down. By the second time you do this in the 80th minute, whatever, when you're trying to waste time, no one's really hurt, but you see this all the time. Adam, you call so countless games. We're probably at 10,000 right now, the amount of games you've called. You see this happen, and you take the sting out of the game. But I agree with Wheels. There's levels to that. After the second time a player goes down in the 80th minute, the referee's saying, look, either go off and get subbed. You guys can't just be dropping like flies. But as soon as a goalkeeper goes down and you're whipping out the chalkboard, the big board and talking.
The easel.
If I'm a player, I'm going straight over there as an opposition. I'm listening. I'm standing right there. I'm listening to what you have to say. If you want your play to go inverted, I'm going to act like I'm a part of your team. Because I think that crosses the line. So I agree with Wheels full stop. And I think the way to stop that is by the referee taking control of the game. That could even be the fourth official. Like, look, you can hand notes. You can bark from the sideline for what your team wants to do. Getting out this big board and talking about your tactics, players down, it's too much. Soccer is supposed to be free-flowing. I know VAR, that's a whole nother topic, has gotten to the point where so much time delayed. But it should still have some rhythm. There should not be a timeout or a water break or a game delay that you're using for tactics. I think it's far too much.
So all it becomes, if the various bodies who dictate the laws of the game and the different competitions decide that this is an issue, they have to get creative with their problem solving. My brain goes, well, if it's your keeper down, all outfield players have to stay in the 18-yard box or the center circle, or the captain gets a yellow card or something. Like, there has to be some kind of repercussion without dramatically affecting the way things work. What would be a potential solution for you?
I think the only solution is something similar to what you just said, which is that if the goalkeeper goes down with an injury, the players can't go over to the bench, like, because there's no way, right, to like actually judge whether the goalkeeper is injured or not. That's kind of the genius of it, is it's completely obvious that
It's smart.
It is smart. They're just taking a timeout, and everyone knows it, but you can't like force the goalkeeper to get up, because there might come a point where the goalkeeper really is injured, and it's a legitimate one. And how do you prove one way or the other? So that's the only thing I can think of, is that there's some kind of legislation or guidance brought in where if the goalkeeper goes down injured, the players have to stay on the pitch and cannot gather on the bench or anywhere else to have a little team meeting. But yeah, effectively what they've created is a timeout that's completely outside of the rule book. And I have to think that being the case, there will be eventually some people looking at it and some consequences there.
Adam, it's not so deep. I think the fourth official just says to the coach, you could put the whiteboard away. You could talk the tactics. Like, that's not going to change. But I think it's the fact that everyone migrating over, you see a keeper down, hightailing to the bench, right? And then getting a timeout. I'm like, the fourth could literally say, look, put the board away, talk to your team. And that's everyone's, because that's a rule. Everyone has to stay on the pitch. But like, you can't use the whiteboard. Wheels is right. This is giving me basketball vibes.
I love that you're really
imagine that
on the whiteboard.
30th minute, you're like, we need a timeout. Timeout, ref.
Hey, the whiteboard is what takes it over the edge. Talking, I don't mind that.
Are you okay with them all gathering though? Faking an injury and having a little.
I'm okay with the coach talking to their players. I don't think all 10 need to go over, but I'm okay with that, because that happens, right? If someone's down and the coach, that's also a time. But the whole huddle and the gather, I think that's a bit much. That's
it's for me. It was just when the camera cut to Priestman, she already had it in her hand. Like, there was no attempts at subtlety. It was brilliant. I applaud it from Bev. Use what you can, especially when CONCACAF's not doing you any favors.